So recently I saw a video by the popular Pokemon YouTuber Birdkeeper Toby called If I Had an Evil Pokemon Team. In his video, he challenged the online community to create their own evil Pokemon teams, as well as creating one himself. After seeing one of the response videos created by another internet theorist, Loxton, or Noggin, I decided to take on the challenge myself. Hello Internet, this is Mattcast, coming at you for another episode of, well, this isn't really Theory Hour since this isn't a theory. Let's just call this, Theory Hour Light Edition. Jeez, that sounds stupid. Just roll the intro and let's get on with this already. Okay, so if I had an evil Pokemon team, I would entirely devote it to discovering the first sources of things. It would be entirely embedded in metaphysical philosophy and trying to discover the origins of the universe. As for the catch that would make it evil, we'd be attempting to learn the origins of the universe in an attempt to figure out what thing, or what Pokemon, we'd need to get control of in order to give us total universal domination, and we'd be willing to destroy anyone in our way to do it. With this being our goal, the team's name would draw its source from the ancient Greek for origin, or first source, Arche. Team Arche. Of course spelled with the ancient Greek characters Alpha, Rho, Chi, Eta. The fact that they're Greek characters would allow the logo to be really cool, something along the lines of what I put on the screen right now. The team would be based in the Sinnoh region, of course, seeing as that's the one with the most metaphysical Pokemon. I think since the Sinnoh region already had games with Team Galactic, Team Arche would make its presence known around 10 years after the events of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, well after the last shreds of Team Galactic have vanished. The reason that we're starting to make serious trouble now is because after years, perhaps decades even, of tireless research into the topic of the origins of the world, and on that note, perhaps we were the ones pulling the strings with Team Rocket's research into Mew and creation of Mewtwo, and Team Galactic's interest into the Sinnoh legendaries. There would be some hints dropped throughout the course of your player character's interaction with the team, but there would be nothing truly solid to go on, leaving it for internet theorists to piece together. Anyway, after a long time of researching this sort of thing, we've come to the conclusive results that the Pokemon we need to take control of, the one closest to the source of all things, is none other than Arceus, and we're pouring all our resources into finding what we need to get or do in order to chain it and force it to give us its power. The grunts of the team, fitting with the ancient theme, would dress in togas, mirroring the culture of one of the most philosophical, yet also warlike societies in the history of the world, Rome. Now, I don't know if Rome exists in the Pokemon world, but I'm assuming there's at least some correlated city, since the Pokemon world and the real world seem to parallel each other in many ways. Now, at first glance, you might think that these togas are extremely impractical, but they've been modified enough to justify it. There's a ton of pockets on the inside, and the fabric is scientifically engineered to be cooler in warm environments and warmer in cold environments. They're also good for athletic movement. Essentially, while they might look weird, they're actually the perfect tools for stealing Pokemon, which is what the grunts typically do. Why are we stealing Pokemon? Well, the reasoning behind that is rather simple. If there are less trainers with Pokemon, there are less trainers to resist Team Arche in our bid to seize control of everything. If we have all the Pokemon, then nobody can stop us. You'll first encounter Team Arche by Lake Verity earlier in your journey. You've just received your first Pokemon from Professor Rowan, and you find yourself shuttled in some manner or another, really it kinda doesn't matter how since RPGs always find a way to do that, to the entrance of the lake. You'll find two grunts there, guarding it from anyone who tries to get in. When you attempt to go past them, they engage you in battle with the end goal of beating you and stealing your Pokemon. They, like most trainers on the team, use Psychic Pokemon, since that type is closest to the origins of the world, and therefore is considered the best by me, the leader. I'm thinking something like Munna or Abra. They're extremely low leveled, 4 at the highest, and of course you beat them. Just as they're starting to panic about losing and about to flee and let you into the lake, Team Arche admin Ajax comes out from the entrance to check on the situation. Ajax is one of the coolest members of Team Arche. He got his place as admin by being exceptionally good at stealing Pokemon with the fewest amount of trainers injured in the process. He's known among the team for doing basically whatever he wants with his Pokemon team, and catches trainers off guard with how diversely typed the Pokemon he uses are. It seems like almost every time he shows up, his lineup has changed. He's also known as one of the nicest members on the team. He shows mercy whenever he can. He tries to find a way out of violence whenever possible, which often gets him into arguments with other admins about the methods to go about tasks. After he became admin, he turned his attention to research on the beginnings of things, and traded in his uniform toga for business casual attire to blend in. He travels around the Sinnoh region, translating ancient texts, uncovering artifacts, and trying to find any source of information about the origins of the universe. though he doesn't turn away from stealing Pokemon from trainers who might pose a threat while he's at it. It's pretty obvious, though, that he joined the team for the sake of knowledge rather than for power, though he goes along with it because of the wisdom he can attain. Ajax comes out and catches the grunts before they can run. They begin to start to make excuses, but he dismisses it, telling them the research was a bust anyway. Mesprit has moved, probably because of what happened when it was captured 10 years ago by Team Galactic. When he spots you, he asks if you were trying to interfere with the research. When you say yes, he seems less angry and more disappointed. He tells you that it's very good for you that he found you rather than any of the other admins. He tells you that they're going to leave anyway, since there's nothing more for them to do at the lake, and there's no sense in ruffling any more feathers. Before he and the grunts leave, however, he gives you an offer. You can join Team Arche and gain infinite power. You, of course, refuse, and seeming even more disappointed that there has to be another person on the opposite side, Ajax tells you to never interfere with Team Arche's operations again, or there might be very bad consequences. And then he and the grunts leave, leaving the lake open for you to explore. This encounter, since it happens so early in your journey, firmly establishes Team Arche's presence in the region. It's there, it's operating, and it's most definitely going to be a problem. Later on, you encounter another admin, Vincent, who's based off my cat from the review series I do. If you haven't seen it yet, I'd recommend watching it after this video. Links are in the description. Now, in this world, he's not a cat. He's a human like everyone else, but he still retains his darker side from the videos. He's infamous for his cruelty, killing those who stand in his way without mercy, which makes him extremely effective at his job. He dresses in a sharp, all-black suit. He's smart, ruthless, and completely power-hungry. Although he serves as the team's head scientist and mechanic, creating the machines necessary to capture Arceus and force it to obey, he's obviously only on the team to gain power for himself. In fact, he's most likely planning to kill me and take Arceus' power for his own once Team Arche has succeeded. He appears in your first pass through Mount Coronet, where he's gathering data on the various electromagnetic waves that the mountain emits. When you find him, he's recording notes, muttering to himself about how the readings he's gotten are the same as the background radiation in space, yet much stronger, and wondering whether background radiation is like a fingerprint from when Arceus shaped the Pokemon world. If the fingerprint can be so powerful as to endure this long, then how powerful must the hand itself be? When he becomes aware you're watching him, he doesn't even blink before engaging you in a battle with the final goal of beating you, killing you, and stealing your Pokemon. His team consists of Electric and Dark types. Electric because he uses them to power his machines at the Team Arche base, and Dark because he likes their intimidation factor. Since this is an earlier point on your journey, his team is going to be in the low to mid-20s, and he'd use Pokemon like Electabuzz, Magneton, Umbreon, and Murkrow. Of course, you defeat him, and after telling you that next time you won't be so lucky, he leaves with an escape rope. Overall, it's a chilling encounter, and it lets you know that Team Arche poses a very serious threat to you personally. You have to be on your guard at all times. You encounter Team Arche at the two other lakes, where we're looking for the Lake Guardians, although both times they fled just like Mesprit, in order to attempt to strangle the very being of those who oppose us at the roots. We want to eliminate emotion, knowledge, and willpower from our foes as to fundamentally cripple them so they can't resist us. The operations, though, are failures, and we leave soon after. You find some grunts conducting tests on the meteorites in the southeast corner of Veilstone City. They're doing tests and such on the meteorites because of their connection to Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon. Since Deoxys came from space, there's been an effort made by Team Arche to investigate how far its DNA traces back. Perhaps it goes farther back than Mew. Perhaps the origins of life itself came from space. They're blocking the path in an attempt to fight you, but you beat them and they leave as quickly as possible with their research. Ajax shows up again at the Canalave Library after you've gotten that gym badge, where he's attempting to piece together symbolism from the old stories there and come up with a more exact theory about how the universe formed. This time, now that he sees you have 6 badges, he decides it's finally time to fight you and steal your Pokemon. You go outside to do so, of course, since he doesn't want to destroy any books, and have a battle on the drawbridge. His team is in the mid to high 40s and consists of Pokemon with no other connecting factor besides that they're powerful and effective, such as Tyranitar, Gabite, Warlord, Houndoom, and Roserade. When you beat him, he tells you that he's impressed at how powerful you've become, and once again offers you the chance to join Team Arche, since you'd be a valuable member. When you refuse, he offers you the parting words of, "Then you'd better be careful who you mess with. There are very powerful forces at play here, forces I can't claim to fully understand, and if you're not cautious, you could end up in a very bad situation." He then flies away. You run into Vincent as you journey up north to Snowpoint City, where he's testing the effects of super cold temperatures on various waveforms, trying to simulate as close as possible the condition of the absolute zero of space. You battle him, and when you win, he gathers his research and leaves, telling you that if you continue to be a problem, he'll get serious with trying to eliminate you. The sense of apprehension keeps building on your spine with every encounter with Team Arche. You've heard grunts refer multiple times to the boss, referencing him as an ultra-powerful trainer who could crush anyone in his path. Stuff like, if the boss was here, you'd be toast. You're nervous, almost terrified to meet this boss. You end up getting to Sunny Shore City, the location of the 8th gym. The path to Victory Road has been blocked by a rock slide or something, and so you basically have to take on the gym leader before anything progresses. When you get inside, however, you find that the gym is no longer a gym, but has been transformed into the Team RK headquarters, with added basement floors and a complete redesign. The color palette is the same as the standard form of Arceus, and there are tons of mind-boggling puzzles you have to solve just to get from one room to the next, all designed by me, the boss. As you progress through the headquarters, you battle countless grunts, who get stronger the closer you get to the most hard-to-reach part of the base, the boss's office. They all warn you to turn back when you beat them, telling you that you're interfering in matters you can't comprehend, and that for your own safety, you should avoid the boss at all costs. You, however, eager to know what's going on, and also slightly mad that you can't get the 8th gym badge, press on. Eventually, you finally reach the entrance to the boss's, my office. You go in, and you find somebody who seriously resembles the description the grunts have given of the boss. In fact, he seems to resemble a boss exactly. But something seems slightly off. Something's different about him. He's not wearing business clothes. In fact, he's in a t-shirt with a weird blue emblem and shorts. And moreover, he's deep asleep. When you approach him, however, he wakes up and asks you how you got in here, since nobody's supposed to be able to get into the boss's office except the boss himself and those he lets in. He then tells you that he's not the boss. He's Tartisan's, and has been given the job of guarding the boss's office from intruders while the boss is away on the final mission. This whole hideout setup has been a giant fake-out to distract you from the real crisis. Quick break here for a little info on this Tartisan's guy. He just kinda showed up one day on Team RK as an admin, confusing everybody. Nobody really knows where he came from or why he looks so much like the boss. The only thing that anybody's certain about with him is that he has a strange obsession with pointing out everything wrong with things, and that he naps all the time, calling it hibernation. In fact, he's asleep so often that he barely does anything, leading to people wondering why the boss keeps him as admin. However, when he does put his mind to something, he's incredibly effective, and gets the job done with exceptional speed and diligence. Anyway, you two battle, and when you beat him, he shrugs it off like it's nothing, tells you the boss is in the process of capturing Arceus on Spear Pillar atop Mount Coronet with the other admins, though he warns you you're too late to stop them. And since you managed to infiltrate the most secure of the Team RK bases, he gives you one of the beacon badges Team RK stole when they took over the gym. He then goes back to sleep, and you warp panel out of the hideout and hurry to Mount Coronet. When you get to Spear Pillar, you find that Vincent is nearly done with setting up the machines to capture Arceus. Ajax is drawing some sort of transmutation circle-like pattern on the ground that will summon it, and overseeing the whole thing is me, the boss. I'm only wearing a dress shirt with a tie and dress pants, not a full suit or anything like Vincent, but there's still this intimidating aura of power around me. You can tell that if I want something done, I'm perfectly capable of doing it, no matter who opposes me. I see you approaching, tell Vincent and Ajax to keep working, and face you myself. Finally, after all this time, after so many encounters with Team RK, after so much buildup of your apprehension, you find yourself face to face with me, the one behind the entire operation. I know you've come to stop me, and we're going to battle, but first, since I'm about to defeat you, I decide to explain what my end goal is. I plan, after I seize control of Arceus, to essentially reboot the universe. I keep things mostly the way they are, so there wouldn't be too much change, but I'd make it so that I would sit as a god over everything, with the rest of Team RK ruling alongside me. I would be the king of the universe, with nobody able to even challenge me. Everything, people, Pokemon, nature itself, would bow to my will. I'd run this system in compliance with my vision of perfection, and I'd have total absolute power to do so. Now knowing the stakes, you do battle with me, and I of course lose. However, you're too late. As you and I look on, Ajax performs the ritual to summon Arceus, and Vincent uses his machine to chain it. But things quickly go wrong. Vincent vastly miscalculated how powerful Arceus would be, and it quickly breaks free of its chains and starts going on a rampage, destroying pillars and whatnot. I, seeing this could end badly for not only me, but the world, turn to you. I beg for your help in subduing Arceus, and I heal your team to help you. You, despite mistrusting me, take on Arceus to save the world. After you've taken down Arceus and sent it back to where it came, I thank you for your help. I now realize just how dangerous what I'm trying to do is, and I decide to dedicate my life to improving the state of the world in other ways. I officially disband Team RK, and Vincent, Ajax, and I go our separate ways by using Fly. And that's the end of Team RK, or so the world thinks. But you know that's not true. No, in reality, such a large organization could never be brought down that easily. I decided to quit and stop looking for ultimate power, but that doesn't mean anything for the rest of the members. In fact, Team RK will probably continue its operations in secret, kind of like Team Rocket did in Johto, in an attempt to recapture Arceus and this time control it. But in the meantime, the world is saved, peace is restored to Sinnoh, and you're able to take on the League and become champion. Isn't that great? But in the back of your mind, like a cold finger running down your spine, there's a creeping feeling that this isn't over. Someday, possibly someday soon, you know that Team RK will return, and you don't know if you'll be able to stop them again. Thank you very much for watching. I'd like to thank Birdkeeper Toby for creating this challenge. It was really fun to do. If you all have ideas for your own evil Pokemon team, please be sure to leave those in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a like, and if you want to see more content from this channel, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, stay theory, my friends.